All right, everyone. So our first pose is going to be child's pose. Let me just make sure. Do I have my mic on right? Yes, excellent. All right. And so our first pose is going to be child's pose. So come in and settle into our practice. Touch your two big toes behind us and reach to the front of the mat. This would be a very anxious time for a lot of us. So really want to focus on your breath to start, please. So, deep inhales and exhales, whatever you can, just to kind of relax yourself and just be present towards the class. Be sinking your hips back. If it's comfortable, pressing your chest forward. Making our way into tabletop. Remembering the stack joint systems. Shoulders over wrists. Knees about as wide as your hips. Taking a look behind you. You can see you can't see your big toes. Move it a little further apart. There we go. We start how we usually like to start, warming up the spine and warming up the core muscles, specifically the abdominal muscles in the front. Some cat and cow tilts. So inhale, let the belly hang soft. Exhale, I'm going to be rounding the upper back. Pulling belly button back to spine. And continuing to work between the two. Taking it at your own pace. Maybe a couple more. Meeting in tabletop. Now just warming up, so we just warm up a lot of the abdominals. So now to warm up the obliques a little bit, we're going to thread the needle. So I'm going to start by inhaling the right arm up. The exhale, I'm going to twist, threading the needle. Maybe place my hand on the lower back that's accessible to you, or reaching to the front of the mat. Opening your chest to the side of the room. Pressing the left hand down to the mat. Raising that arm up, giving it a nice stretch, placing it on the ground. And switching sides. Looks like that first reach up's really good for your pectorals. And I had chest day yesterday, so it's particularly sore when I do that. And staying here, again, staying with your breath. Placing the right hand on the mat, lifting the arm up. Placing it back on the ground. Coming into a forearm plank. Maybe interlacing the fingers. You're up on the balls of your feet. Pulling belly button back to spine, holding here. And coming into dolphin pose, we're going to zip up through the abdomen. Pressing back. Keeping that core engaged, working at floating back into that plank. Really notice we're hugging the sides in here too. Right, as we hug our sides in, pull up through the hips, through the abdominals, back into dolphin. One more time, coming into that plank. Hugging the sides in, zipping up. Maybe placing the knees down, coming into tabletop. I'm just going to face the other direction here. Crawling up on the toes, coming to our first downward facing dog of the practice. Really pressing away with our hands. Be a slight bend in the knees, especially to start. Head off the heels, warming up the hamstrings. Walking feet to hands. hanging in a forward fold of your choice. Personally, I like ragdoll, especially to start. If you like to do ragdoll, hugging both of your elbows. Maybe especially when I first start, I just like to rest my ribs right on my thighs. Just let that head hang really heavy, taking any tension out of your neck. Especially if you work a lot from home like I have been recently. You know, we tend to lean forward and really have our heads crooked, our neck kind of crunched down. So we start nodding your head side to side like you're saying no, up and down, yes. Now releasing the hands, pressing through the feet, coming into our extended mountain. Inhale, reaching and rising. Exhale, forward folding over the mat. Zipping up through the abdominals, coming into our halfway lift. As we do that, pull away from your, shoulders away from ears, kind of giving creating length in the spine, right? Exhale, forward folding. We're going to do a couple more half salutations. Inhale, reach and rise. Hinging at the hips, forward folding. Up through the abdominals, halfway lift. Pulling your chest to the front. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Press through the feet. Inhale, reach and rise. Exhale, forward folding. Up through the abdominals, halfway lift. Shoulders away from ears. Nice flat back, like you can rest a glass of water on it. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. We're going to step our right leg back. Kind of warm up with a hip flexor stretch, right? Bring the left foot back to match. Coming into our high plank, knees up or down. As we come into our high plank, we're going to push forward, lower down as we hug our sides in. Inhale the back bend, pressing through the tops of the feet, pushing our hips forward to the front of the room, shoulders away from ears. Going up on our toes, pressing away, downward facing dog. We're going to feel nice and rooted here to the mat with our feet. Obviously, you don't have to have your heel touch the ground. You can play your stance a little bit, maybe take it wider or take it shorter. Walking or hopping, feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. Press down through the feet, reaching and rising. Hinging in the hips, forward folding. Zipping up through the core. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat. Left leg back now. We're going to be gentle on our hamstring. Our hip flexors are first starting class, right? Right foot back to match now. Coming into our high plank. Standing strong here. Pushing forward, hugging the elbows in as we lower down to the mat. Press through the tops of the feet. If you're coming to upward facing dog. Pressing through the mat with our hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. So sun salutation, and we're going to add a few more poses to the next group of sun salutations. Walking or hopping, feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. Root down through the feet, reach and rise. Forward folding, hinging at the hips. Pulling up into our halfway lift. Hands to the mat, high to low plank. Inhale the back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring our right leg up in a three-legged dog. And now bringing right knee, right elbow. Open here, keep our core engaged. Press that foot back. Right knee, left elbow now. Iron up those obliques. Press that foot back. Step forward. I'm going to come into crescent lunge. We're just going to be here for a breath. I kind of went the Warrior 2 variation last week. So I kind of want to start with, do that as well as this class by adding a couple extra poses. But for now, I'm going to have a nice strong crescent lunge, hugging in on the sides of the hips, on the ball of our foot. Heel over the ball of our foot. Opening to the side, coming into our Warrior 2. Very good. Reversing our Warrior now. Making sure we don't lose any integrity in that front knee as we lift up. And back through Warrior 2. Coming into our extended side angle. Coming into a deeper extended side angle by lifting up the bottom arm if you'd like to do so. Press through the feet. Coming into Warrior 2. You're going to just about straighten the front knee, have a little bend to it. Pull to the front of the room. Come into our triangle pose. Stacking here from our planted hand, wrist, all the way to our top hand. Opening our chest to the side of the room. And keeping that right hip tucked in. Left hand to the mat. Twisted triangle. Both hands down to the mat. Coming up onto the ball of our left foot. And coming through our vinyasa as we come to the other side. Left foot, three-legged dog. Left knee, left elbow. Hug it there. Press that foot back. Using our obliques, right knee, right elbow. Left knee, right elbow. Press the foot back. Step up into our crescent lunge. You can feel nice and rooted here. Hugging the sides of the hips. Heel over the ball of our foot. Warrior 1 arms. Open, coming into Warrior 2. Reversing our Warrior. Coming through our Warrior 2 into our extended side angle. Always an option to lift that bottom hand. Pressing through the feet back into our Warrior 2. Straightening, a slight bend in our front knee. Pull to the front of the room when someone's grabbing your wrists. Lower the left hand. The mat or a block, you always keep it a bit higher too. But the point is wherever your hand position is and how low it is, we keep that alignment, right? Here for another breath. Right hand to the mat. Fire those obliques up, twist the triangle. Both hands to the mat. On the ball of our right foot. And vinyasa. Awesome. You're going to pick up the pace just a little bit. So walk or hop feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale the forward fold. Press through the feet and reach and rise. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. Zip up through the abdominals, halfway lift. Hands to the mat. I'm going to come through our flow. And meet in downward facing dog. Remember, at any point in the practice, if you want to skip the vinyasa, please just come into downward facing dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. Right knee, right elbow. Keep that core nice and tight. Drive the foot back. Twist to the other side, right knee, left elbow. Press the foot up. Stepping up into crescent lunge. Nice and rooted here, only here for a breath. Open into our warrior two. Reverse our warrior. Exhale, coming through, forearm to quadricep. Extended side angle. Bring up the bottom hand. Adding more core into it. Press through the feet, warrior two. Slowly, again, not completely straight, but straighten the front knee. Pull your wrists to the front of the room. Right fingertips to the mat. Open into our triangle. Left hand to the mat. Twist that triangle. Awesome. Both hands down to the mat. Onto the ball of the left foot. Now we're going to vinyasa to the other side. Left leg, three-legged dog. Left knee, left elbow. Press. Left knee, right elbow. Press the foot up. Come into our crescent lunge. You get nice and rooted here, nice and stable. Here for a breath. Open to our warrior two. Inhale, reverse our warrior. Exhale through our warrior two into our extended side angle. Press through the feet, warrior two. Coming into our into our triangle pose. Right hand to the mat. Twist your triangle. Both hands to the mat. Onto the ball of our right foot. Go through your vinyasa. Walk or hop feet to hands. We'll do that series again. Inhale the halfway lift. Hinge the hips forward fold. Drive through the feet, reach and rise. Hinge the hips forward fold. Inhale the halfway lift. Hands to the mat, high to low push up. Inhale the back bend. Press away. Downward facing dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. Right knee, right elbow. Press the foot back. Right knee, left elbow. Press the foot back. Come into our crescent lunge. We're strong here, we're already rooted. Open to our warrior two. Palms to the ceiling. Inhale, reverse our warrior. Through warrior two. Forearm to quadricep. Extended side angle. Press through the feet, warrior two. Into our triangle pose. Twist your triangle. Hands to the mat. Come through our flow. Meet on the other side. Three-legged dog on the left side. Left elbow, left knee. Drive that feet up. Press through the heel. Left knee, right elbow. Press through the heel. Step up into our crescent lunge. Open into our warrior two. Reverse our warrior. Coming through warrior two. Forearm to quadricep into our extended side angle. Press through the feet back into our warrior two. Straighten the front knee. Pull to the front. Coming into our triangle. Right hand to the mat. Twist our triangle. Hands to the mat. And come through your vinyasa. Awesome. Great job, everyone. I want to take a quick child's pose. Feel free to do that. I'm going to have a couple sips of water myself. Otherwise, you can stay in downward facing dog if you wish as well. Maybe come up onto the balls or feet. And maybe kind of feel how downward facing dog is landing with you now as opposed to the beginning of practice. Right? Maybe your shoulders are a little tighter. Maybe your hamstrings are a little looser. Just be aware of how the poses land in our bodies throughout the practice. When you're ready, we're going to hover into a high plank. I'm going to center the left hand to the mat. And I'm going to come into my side plank here. Ooh, almost forgot to name the pose for a second. Must mean we're getting a good sweat. Maybe lift that top foot if you really want to. When you're ready, slowly fold up. If you really want to, come through a vinyasa. We love yoga push-ups, right? I'm just going to face the other direction here. Hovering into a high plank. Centering the right hand to the mat. Then come into my side plank. You're nice and strong here. Strong obliques, strong hips, slowly folding out. Coming through our vinyasa if you really want it. Walking or hopping feet to hands. Inhale the halfway lift. Again, press shoulders away from ears. And it was after a lot of push-ups, you start to feel more shoulder tightness. Just kind of be aware of how your body reacts to the practice. Sitting back, you're coming to chair pose. Maybe you want to keep your hands at heart center. You want to give your shoulders a little bit of a break. As much as you can, I have the benefit of using the video. Try to bring your knees over your ankles. You know where you are. We're going to twist. I'm going to twist the right side to start. And open my twist. Keeping an eye on our knees, making sure one's not pushing out more than the other. And slowly come out. Come into a forward fold of your choice. Pressing through the feet, reach your rise. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. Coming into our halfway lift. And sit back into our second chair. Nice and strong here. Maybe even pick up our toes off the mat. It wasn't a leg day for anyone today. And we're going to twist to the left side. And keeping our even knees. And opening our twists. And forward folding. And coming to a forward fold of your choice. Want to take gorilla? You can feel free to do that. So I'm going to do is I'm going to step on my hands, have a bit of a seat. Bend at the knees. Come up on my wrist as high as I can. And I'm going to slowly straighten the hamstrings. Get that deep hamstring stretch. Again, just like ragdoll, as we did earlier, keep that head nice and heavy. If that's a little intense for you, you can use your peace fingers, which are your first two fingers. Wrap around the big toe. We'll do that way too. And this is also a nice helpful way of doing it too, because you can use your thumbs as kind of like a tripod. And that'll help you get your hips more so over your ankles. So you can try leaning a little too far, a little too back, and find that nice center ground. Releasing your grip and having a seat in Malasana or deep yogi squat. You have an option to stay here. And you can have prior hands kind of open hips or open hands this way. You have an option to stay there. You can come into crow pose. I don't think we've done that in a while in this class. So if you haven't done it before and you're a little nervous about doing it, a good or a great way to start, and this top mat's way too slippery, so I'm going to use the bottom mat here, is just kind of practice going into the pose. So I'm going to keep my knees right around my quadricep area. I'm just going to kind of rock back and forth. Maybe just getting my feet a little off the ground, kind of practice going into it. And then before you know it, you'll come right into it. So core is important here, breath's important here. Again, practice that. Give it a couple tries. When you're ready, meet us back in Malasana. I was getting a phone call there for a second. And we're going to all meet back in Malasana. And press through the feet. We're going to come into goddess pose. I'm going to center the mat a little more. Just having the feet, again, knees over ankles. Again, a lot of yoga is good, like joint alignment, right? You can start with cactus arms, maybe. And then open your heart to the front of the room. Want to fire up your legs a little more. And come up onto your toes. Maybe practice one at a time. And make this practice yours. Once you feel the shake, that's a good thing. Now we're so strong here to stand. We're going to press up through the feet. Coming into our mountain pose. Awesome. Great job, everyone. Big poses there. And back into flow now. Inhaling, reaching through the fingertips. Hinge, you get the hips forward folding. Zipping up through the abdominals, halfway lift. Hands to the mat. Coming through our flow, we're meeting it back in downward facing dog. Bring our right leg up in the three-legged dog. Stepping it forward. And back into our crescent lunge. You can do this with your knee up or down. We're going to do this twisted. If you want the knee down option, feel free to take that. Otherwise, twist to the right side. Option to place a left hand to the mat and open our twist. Both hands to the mat. Step forward this time, so push off that left foot into the launch. Reach up to extended mountain. And forward fold. Inhale the halfway lift. Hands to the mat. High to low plank. Or again, meet in downward facing dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Step to the front of the mat. Coming into our crescent lunge. Hands to heart center, knee up or down, twist to the opposite side. Option to open our twist. Or place your hand on a block of the mat. Awesome job. Both hands to the mat. Come through our vinyasa or meet in downward facing dog. Hovering over in a high plank. Just at your own pace, your own strength level. Slowly lower till we're completely flat on the mat. Awesome. Great job, everyone. We're going to come up into a seat. Okay, we're going to lay flat on our backs. You know, I'd be cheating you guys if I didn't do any abs this week, right? So we're going to start with something similar that we did last week. So last week, we put our hands behind our head, we came up, we kind of did these mini sit-ups for about 60 seconds. I wanted to die after that, to be honest. So adding on to that, since we all like to torture ourselves, right? We're going to do something called turtle. So what it is, it's similar to that, if you want to observe me for a second. But what we're going to do is, we're going to fire close obliques and come up completely around. And the smaller the motion, the better it's going to be. So do a complete 360 like that. And it's a lot of fun. And we all love turtles. Awesome. We all look equally silly doing it. If you're done, pick up your feet to your chest. Lay the head, that's get a bit of relief. And we're going to switch to the opposite side. Hands behind the head. And again, what I'm really doing here is I'm kind of contracting. And I'm using that, that force, that momentum to keep me in a spinning motion. All right, so fire those obliques. And the smaller the motion, the more difficult it's going to be. Whew. Awesome job. Hug those knees to the chest. Awesome. Great job, everyone. Our hands behind our head now. We're going to go back to one of the more old reliable ones I like to do. And go right elbow, right knee. Extend my left leg out. Then do 10 leg lifts on this side. And switch sides. Awesome. Underneath the chest. And we'll do one more. Keep our hands behind the head. And again, if you're not already there, inhale. Bring your knees to the chest. Exhale. Press the feet up. Have the feet kind of out like Charlie Chaplin. Inhale again. Exhale. Lower the heels about 5 inches off the mat. And inhale. Exhale. Press up. Almost like a deep breathe at karate. Inhale again. Exhale. Lower the heels. We'll do that at our own pace. And one more complete one. And hug knees to the chest. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Don't judge me, but I've had James Taylor stuck in my head all day, rocking my sweet baby Jane. So anytime I say the word rock, I'm going to think of that now. All right, finding stillness, placing the feet firmly on the flat on the mat. Interlace the fingers underneath us. We get all that abdominal work. Let's kind of do an opposite motion, get some back bending. We'll start bridge pose. I like to say I do this pose daily, especially with all the homework I did. Not work from home, not school homework that I've been doing. Staying with our breath. Then slowly lowering the hips. Great job. We'll come back around, come through tabletop, and make our way to downward facing dog. Doing some pigeon poses now, pressing that right leg back. Bring the leg out in front of you. Extending the left leg. I like to come to that proud pigeon first, as I call it. Get that extra little hip flexor stretch on the left side. Kind of sit into it. As we feel kind of our glute on the right side, really get that stretch. Remembering that's our hip extended every time we stretch there, right? Slowly lowering to the mat. Pressing both hands to the mat, coming up on the ball of our left foot. Driving the right heel back. And switching sides. Kind of press away here, having deeper seat. And slowly lower to the mat. Coming up on the ball of our foot. Coming up into our, up on the ball of our foot. Press that left leg back. And back in the downward facing dog. We wag our tail a little bit after all that hip stretching, right? On our knees to the ground. Do a little more back bending. I like camel a lot, so we're going to do that. So I'm going to do it one at a time, just because I don't want to get stuck there. And make it easier accessible for you if you can't do the full camel as well. You can come up on your toes, kind of make it easier to reach your heels. I'm starting by reaching my left hand up. Inhaling, reaching my right hand to my right heel. I can get a little lower, something over that. As we reach lower on our foot. And don't just slouch down. Press through your hips. Push your hips to the front. Help you get that extra back bend. And slowly coming out of it. We're staying in full camel. And I'm going to switch to the other side. Again, really pressing through those hip flexors. Even help you can squeeze your feet a little bit here. Squeeze your glutes. Press through the hips. And slowly coming out. And after all that back work, another great thing, we'll revisit it. I like to revisit poses throughout the practice. I'm going to do a couple cat cows. We're going to do 3 on each side. I really felt that back bend today. After the third one, finding stillness, having a seat, coming into our staff pose, feet extended out, reaching the arms up, coming into a seated forward fold. And just slowly lower to the mat. Just try to come back as slow as you can. Maybe even doing a bit of a boat on the way down. Just lowering out one vertebrae at a time. Being gentle on our lower back. Bringing our right knee to the chest. Doing some spinal twists now. I'm going to twist my right leg to the left side. I'm going to twist my upper half the opposite way. And almost like wringing out a dish towel. And transitioning to the other side. Left knee to the chest. And coming across your body. Your left hand to encourage a deeper stretch. Back, lowering down. I'm going to do a V Permuta Karate before I come into Savasana. I'm going to make a diamond shape out of my hands. Come on, my lower back. As always, you have an option to stay here, or you can come into shoulder stand. If your abs aren't too sore, and take what you need from the pose. If you have the room and you want to take plow, you can come into that as well. Or whenever you're ready, you can come to another pose that's calling you that we haven't done this practice. Or we can come into Savasana. And then working with our breath as we wind down our practice. Appreciating ourselves. We're making a good decision for ourselves today and coming to the yoga practice. Doing something for our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Using our breath, controlled breathing to bring down our heart rate. Personally, I like rescue breathing a lot. I mentioned a lot of practice. It really helps with anxiety and such. And what it is, it's a slow inhale, about 4 seconds maybe, or your count of 4. And just have your exhale be double the count. Really taking controlled, conscious breaths as we finish our practice. Slowly making our way to a comfortable seated position. Just want to thank everyone for taking the practice with me today. Great job, everyone. Hope everyone really enjoyed the class. And thank you for your donations. And please, like I said, Black Widow Yoga isn't accepting donations personally this week. We're donating to other causes. So please, like I said, all the teachers are teaching this week for free. So thank you guys. You're the best students. And that will conclude today's practice. Namaste.